JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 5th of October 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information. Now then guys, jumping into the charts, the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. So yep, good result still. We had a good run to the upside, and yep, there we go. Then we had a bit of a corrective move, so corrective move lower, and at the moment we're just kind of oscillating around that 21-day EMA. So let's see what's going to happen further. In general, my target has been reached, the 27,062 mark. We've reached that, then we've overshot it, and then we reached my the 21-day EMA. So in a way, mission accomplished. Great result here, because what I was talking about previously, I said that look, if we pop above this barrier, then yeah, I'll go towards this area here, which we managed to achieve. Great. Now what's next? Next will be for me just monitoring the situation, because again, of course, there are some tensions in general in the world. So now I would say we had a nice rally here. Will this be enough, let's say, for the sellers to step in again, because they might take the let's say the higher rate here and the higher price, and then kind of drive it back down. So what I would like to see here probably is, if I'm aiming for the upside, of course, is a push above the 27,296 territory right here. If we clear that, then yes, I'll go towards that 100 and the 200-day EMAs, or even go all the way towards this downside line. But again, as I said, I need to see a clear break through this barrier. Now in terms of the downside, from the shorter term perspective, if it falls back below the 27,000 mark, yes, I'll consider a correction back down here. So let's see how that's going to play out. Hong Kong's Hang Seng. Oh, by the way, I can see there in the chat room, Uwe, good morning to you too. Good morning to everybody else who's joining in. So I hope everybody's having a wonderful start of Wednesday. I am sure having a good one. So let's. I hope it stays like this the day I'm talking about. But yeah, let's see how this is going to play out today. Now, Hong Kong's Hang Seng. Today we saw the index opening up. The mainland China is kind of still the Chinese bourses are still closed. Hong Kong's Hang Seng did push nicely to the upside, so yeah, everything's kind of in line here with the idea of seeing maybe a bit of a corrective move higher. So we did rebound from this 16,959 territory. We pushed higher. We almost tested this 18,235 level right here. So now the question here is, can we see a further push above it? Well, I would say yes, there is a chance for that, but probably I would like to see that stronger move above this highlighted zone first. So this one right here, the 18,235 level. So if we do push through it and stay above it, then yeah, I will go further north here, because at the same time we could see a nice push above that 21-day EMA. Now Australian index, look at this rally. I mean, talk about a move here. Yesterday I talked about this index and I said that, look, maybe we could see a bit of a retracement given that we had quite a strong up move here, but I said that if we start clearing this 6,700 territory, then yeah, I will go higher. And well, we didn't really get the retracement. Instead, we had a clear breakout here, and well, now the question is what's going to happen next. My next target here is this downside line taken from the high of the 26th of August. So let's see how that's going to play out, guys. If we do reach this area, I will take a pause a little, and I'm just going to observe the price action, because again, it will be quite interesting to see if we can actually get something like this, where we can get a bit of a retracement here to the back to the downside right here. So let's keep an eye on that one. The German index, DAX, beautiful push as well. I said before that, look, if we hold here, then I'm leaning a little bit back to the downside. So if we're going to find a good resistance here, but I said what I said yesterday, I said that if we clear it, then this could open the door towards higher levels, especially if it pushes above that 12,600 mark. So if we take a look at the cash index right now, let me just have a look. Yeah, we're currently sitting just kind of bang on in this area. We're above the 21-day EMA, so that's a good sign for the bulls. So I would say this way: if we get another like stronger push above that 12,600 territory, then yes, I'll continue aiming a little bit to the upside. I'm not really gonna get very, let's say, radical to the upside. No, I'm just gonna aim slowly to the upside. My next target will be this 12,936 territory, or maybe even that psychological 13,000 mark. So let's not exclude that. If you're looking for some lower levels, now this is where I will adjust a few things, I think. I think I'm going to recycle this line. So basically, I'm going to look at this little area here, this 12,200, and let's round it up to 10. So 12,210 zone. If we clear that, then yes, I will go back to the downside. IBEX 35, just a quick update on this one. So yeah, we had a good, nice move here to the upside. We cleared my level here. I was talking about this area. I said that, look, if we push through this 7,589 territory, then yes, I'll go a little bit higher. But if we find a good resistance here, then this could, result into another decline. But we didn't get that hold up. Instead, we got that clear breakout. We've reached my other target here, the 21-day EMA, or I should say, almost reached it. But that's all fine here. Of course, I'm watching this little area here, this 7,770 territory right there, because it acted as a good area of support previously. Now it could take the role of a resistance together with that 21-day EMA, of course. But if we do clear this 7,770 zone, then I'll go towards that downside line taken from the high of the 17th of August. Now, NASDAQ 100. And NASDAQ, yeah, this one did a fantastic move. I mean, all this happened, of course, during the European session. European session was showing positivity. The futures, the Nasdaq future in general, U.S. futures were drifting higher, and this is where we opened up. Basically, in a way, I can say that it worked out. So if you were trading, the cash index, then great. I mean, you've managed to capture something here. So we cleared that 11,170 territory, and we stayed above it. And what I said to you yesterday, that if we stay above it, then I'll aim for this 11,500 mark, which we managed to reach. Great, perfect. We're currently sitting just slightly above this area. So if we continue to do so, my next target is this upper side of the falling channel, which I have to constantly adjust because it keeps on shifting. So let me just try to maybe do something here, because this is just annoying a little bit because it keeps on shifting. So let me just remove it. And I think there is a tool for that. So where is that channel? Parallel, there we go. So there we go, and there we go. So roughly something like this here. Let me just put this on this here. There we go, and there we go. Okay, that's a little bit more like it. So maybe this one will stick a little bit more. But anyway, as I said before, if we do continue to trade above that 11,500 territory, then yes, I'll aim for the upper side of the falling channel. The S&P 500, so beautiful rally as well. If you remember, last week I talked about this one as well. I said that if we clear this steep downside line taken from the high of the 12th of September, and then yes, I could go higher, especially if we also push above this 3,727 territory right there, and we've managed to clear that. We managed to push higher, so we almost reached my other target, the 3,796, together with the 21-day EMA. But I will say that it's a good result here. We kind of already reached that area. Now the question, can we see a further move north? Well, I would say this way: if you're looking for some higher levels right now, then a push above that 21-day EMA is needed. So keep that in mind, and then I'll aim for this downside line taken from the high of the 16th of August. Because don't get me wrong, I mean, we could still see this up move as a temporary correction before another possible leg of selling. If we clear this downside line, well, there's another downside line to keep an eye on. So yeah, we could see another push further north. But let's go slowly. So basically, with long story short, with the upside you have to go slowly. With the downside, there's always potential for this one to move to the downside heavily, especially if we just need some sort of like just negative news coming out from them, and that will just trigger the market, to kind of go for a sell-off. DXY, the dollar index. So okay, beautiful. If you remember, I talked about this. I kept on saying, look, if we do drop somewhere below this area here, my next target is the 21-day EMA, and then maybe this 110.46 level, or this upside support line taken from below the 11th of August. I would say mission accomplished, because although we didn't really touch the upside line yet, I will say that this is perfect. Now my question is, can we see a touch of it, and can we see a rebound? At the moment, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just observe the price action, and what I'm going to do here is, if we do drop below this upside line, then yes, I'll start aiming lower. If we do fall below this 109.29 level right here, now that's where it could turn a bit more ugly for buyers, and more bears could step in. Of course, we will aim for this upside line first. So let me just put this on the chart like this. So of course we'll aim for this upside line first, which is drawn from the low of the 10th of February. Then yeah, of course, it's still a decent move here, so we'll take it from there. We also have a nice, beautiful level here to watch, which is around here, and that's the 107.59 level. Now, if you can see something here already, because if this gets broken, for example, this upside line here, and then we start moving slowly lower, then, and if we, let's say, drift to the downside, test this other upside line, this medium-term upside support line, or this 107.59, and then we rebound, then we could see ourselves a nice little, maybe starting to form a head and shoulders pattern here. So again, let's put it like this, I would say. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to consider something like this. So if we do, break this upside line, I'll go lower. We'll go for this this other upside support line, and then you get me. You get my picture here. You understand what I'm trying to say, because I'm kind of getting confused with my words a little bit here, because I think that a lot of things are in my head, and I'm trying to pass it on here. But yeah, basically, long story short, maybe if we can get a break of this upside line, this shorter term upside support line, then we could maybe see a possible formation of a head and shoulders pattern. Now gold, I mean, this one is insane. Look at this move, guys. It almost like a pound, basically. Okay, so let's start here. First of all, the target has been reached. I was aiming for this downside line taken from the high of the 8th of March of this year. We've not only managed to reach that, we also managed to clear it. However, I'm cautiously bullish right now because we are getting a little retracement here. We're below this downside line. I would like to see a clear break through this area, through this barrier, this 1735 level. I talked about this yesterday, as I said before. Of course, I'll be a little bit more positive if we do clear this downside line. We cleared it. I am leaning towards the upside as long as we stay above it. If we start falling back down here, I will say yes, I'm gonna maybe get a little bit more bearish. However, for me to get bearish, again, I would like to see it drop back below this 1689 territory right there, because at the same time we would drop below the 21-day EMA, and potentially more sellers here could join in, and we could start aiming for something like this. Now, long story short, at the moment, yes, I'm leaning a little bit more towards the upside as long as we remain above this downside line. If we start falling back below this downside line, I'll take a neutral stand. If we fall below the 1689 territory, I'll get more bearish on that one. Now, WTI oil, boom, clear the downside line, and now I'm going to say the same thing as with gold. Basically, if we continue to trade above this downside line, I will continue aiming to the upside. My target, as I said before, is this 200-day EMA together with the 100-day EMA. So that's what I'm going to be aiming for. On the road towards that area, we have the 90.17 level, which could be an interesting one to keep an eye on. So that could be maybe your initial target. But basically, I am kind of leaning a little bit more towards the upside. Bitcoin. So, okay, there we go. If you remember, I've drawn a bunch of lines here last time, and I said to you, look, maybe this could be forming a possible descending triangle here, which, according to all the TA rules, tends to break to the downside. So we've broken this downside line, taken from the high of the 10th of November. So if I wouldn't have drawn this, probably we could say that, hey, maybe we're getting a little bit more bullish. But you can see that we're getting a hold up near this downside line. So basically, this time, the downside line, the trend line, is not really that much important. It's actually the triangle that's a little bit more important right now. But again, let's not rush into anything. Of course, if we go from the fact that this is a descending triangle pattern, then yes, according to all the tier rules, these tend to break to the downside. However, we need that confirmation break first, and that would come somewhere from around here, from that 17,567 territory, somewhere around here. So yeah, if we clear that, then yes, I will go lower. But at the moment, we are testing the upper side of this descending triangle pattern. If we clear it, then this could lead to some higher levels. But only I'll aim for the 25,338 territory. Because why? Because this could end up being a nice little range, as I've marked here, as you can see. So AUD USD. So yeah, beautiful move here yesterday. Yesterday I talked about this pair, and I said that if we clear the 0.6521 territory, then yes, I'll go higher if we stay, especially above it. And we got a false breakout. We failed to stay above it. So now the question is, what's going to happen next? I would say that. Look, I'm still sticking to the same rules, same analysis. If we do push again above the 0.6521 territory, then yes, I will go to the upside, and especially if we stay above it. So yeah, keep that in mind. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below the 0.6391 territory. I know that this is a bit of a territory here. So, but yeah, let's keep that in mind. I know that we're missing out on this area, but this could be just it could end up being just a range. And ZD/USD, haven't looked at this for quite a while. Similar to AUD/USD, but this one's a little bit more on the positive side because we had some interest rate deliveries from the RBNZ. So basically the Reserve Bank of New Zealand came out with the expected interest rate hike, so it kind of met its expectations. So the previous one was at 3%. The forecast was 3.5, so basically it came out as expected. And yep, the market, and it kind of gave a boost here for the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar. Certainly the fact that the US dollar is on the weaker side as well here did also help out the NZD USD to go higher. Long story short, from the technical perspective, the 0.5722 territory right here got cleared. As long as we stay above it, I'll continue aiming for a larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that we're still trading below this downside line taken from the high the 15th of August. USD Jpy, still the same. If you have been watching my videos, I mean, I kept on talking about the same idea here and not really doing much here as long as we clear one of the sides. So long story short, we're in the range. We're waiting for a clear breakout out of that range. US dollar against the Turkish lira. So the interesting one. Basically, we're kind of hitting these all-time highs, and nobody gives a damn about it. So you know, we just kind of you don't see anything. As I said before, that look, when last year in November, December, we had this massive rally where we've rallied nicely here in a short period of time. We from going from 10 to kind of 18. Yeah, that was a big deal. But to be honest, this is always the big deal. So look, nobody's talking about the Argentinian peso. I mean, that one just continues to collapse. I mean, if you look at the chart there, it's like hyperbole. I think that's the pronunciation of that. Not a linear function, but like hyperbole. Anyway, yeah, so nobody's like kind of talking about that, and everybody's like, it's okay. So it's like, and the same story is right now with the Turkish lira. It's like, it's okay. Like, it's depreciating. It's okay. It's fine. We're hitting new all-time highs. It's fine. So again, I would say this is quite interesting. The question is, can we go towards that 19 level? I would say that would be great to see. And in general, if we consider, let's say, we look at history here. 2021, the year 2021. So from January, we had how many spikes did we had, like these radical moves here? So when we had one here in March, then we kind of were flat for the most of the year. Well, not flat, sorry, but like just normal trading activity. But then everything started exploding in November, December here. And this year, so from this year, basically, yes, we had this rally here, but that's actually, I would say, normal because it adjusted. So in January, this is still kind of December of 2021. So from January this year, we kind of traded nicely here. Okay, we had one spike here, but then a bit of selling activity, not something radical. The radical thing here we had back here in June, so at the end of June, where the Turkish lira strengthened by a lot. And now, if we take a look at this, I would say you need to be very careful because, again, we're getting closer to the end of the year, and maybe if we apply the previous year's logic, then we should see some sort of a move here in USD TRY. Again, I'm not sure if it's going to be, let's say, to the downside or to the upside, but what I'm trying to say here is that look at this trading activity here. There is something building up, so something coming up. So hopefully, I would say it would be to the downside here, but again, it's not clear. It could be an interesting one when it comes, and if you're on the right side of it, on the correct side of it. So, but if you're not, guys, I mean, that could easily wipe you out. Let's say, for example, when how it was here, for example. Now, jumping into GBP USD, so yeah, we have a good move. We had a good move above this area, above this 1.1414 territory, and most importantly, we stayed above it. So I would say I will stick to my game plan. If we continue to trade above it, I'll go higher. If we start falling back below it, I will take a bit of a neutral stand here, because what I would now like to see here is something like this. because I think I need to adjust the outlook here. So if we, given that we have broken the barrier and we stayed above it, so long story short, if we continue to trade above this area, I will go higher. If we fall back below it, I will take a neutral stand because we would still be above the 21-day EMA. But if we fall below the 1.1240 territory right here, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers. I keep confusing. So yeah, for the sellers. Gbp Chf, similar story. We're seeing a bit of a, we're seeing a doji here. So let's see if that's going to end up being like a little reversal signal. But again, this is the problem that sometimes it doesn't really, nowadays I've noticed that it doesn't really mean that, this could be a reversal signal as per se. I think that in this scenario, you just basically, from the very short-term perspective, just stick to yesterday's high and low. If we clear one of those, then yeah, this could, let's say for the downside, if we clear this 1.1178 territory right here, then we'll go a little bit lower. But as I said before, my preferred scenario to the downside is from this area, from this 1.1007. For the downside, for the upside, we need to see a push above the 1.1286 territory, and then we could go higher. GBP Aussie. Okay, mission accomplished. I reached my target. Great. Yesterday I talked about this when I said that, look, if we continue to trade above this 100-day EMA, then my next target is the 1.7653. We've hit that. We've hit the 200-day EMA. Now what's next? Of course, I'll keep it. Now I'm going to draw it this way, but I'm of course not excluding the possibility of seeing maybe a bit of a retracement of some sort here. So due to the sharp up move that we had. Look, I mean, look at we came from like this fall last week from 159.20 to 1.7653. I mean, wow. Talk about manipulation. So yeah, at the moment I would say maybe a bit of a retracement here could be possible. Maybe I'll draw a Fibonacci even. Hey, why not? And the 23.6 actually comes in nicely near this 100-day EMA, just maybe slightly below it, but actually quite a good level. So quite an interesting one here could be. So let's see if we clear the current yesterday's high, I would say, then yeah, we could go higher here. But in that case, my next target is only somewhere up until here, the 1.7887. And then we'll take it from there. GBP CAD, so similar story. We've managed to reach my target, the 100-day EMA, because what I said before was that if we clear this 1.5299 level, then I'll go towards that 100-day EMA. Because as you can see, I haven't drawn any levels here. I will aim for these EMAs instead for now. So if we clear this 100-day EMA, I'll go towards the 200-day EMA. Simple as that. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 21-day EMA. EuroCAD, guys. EuroCAD. I haven't looked at this one for quite a while, but as you can see by the arrow, the candles got closer to my arrow. But the 1.3324 territory, we've cleared that. This is what I was talking about previously. That was the 100-day EMA as well. So yeah, everything's kind of looking quite positive still here, I would say. Even if we do retrace back down, as long as we stay above this 1.3324 territory, then yeah, we could see something like this here. If we start dropping below the 21-day EMA, now that's where it could become a little bit more interesting for a few more sellers, guys. So keep that in mind. Of course, some of you are looking at this daily chart and saying, hey, we're getting closer. The 21-day EMA is getting closer here to the 100-day EMA. So maybe we'll, this could break it to the upside, and then this could lead to a larger kind of trend to trend higher. Could be, of course. Yep, that's not we're not excluding that one, but not excluding the scenario where it came also here, let's say, very close to this. Look at this. I mean, we also, the 21-day EMA started approaching this 100-day EMA, came very close, and then boom, we had a nice, decline here. So, I'm not saying that this will happen again, but and again, also let's say here, for example, back in September of last year, we also had a clear breakout. So I would say until we see the 21-day EMA actually piercing through the 200-day EMA, I'm not really, turning my head towards, let's say, much higher levels. And finally, EURUSD. So this one, yeah, beautiful move to the upside. I talked about this yesterday. I said that, look, if we clear this level and stay above it, the 0.9864 territory, this is what I was talking about yesterday. I said that if we pierce through this and stay above it, then yeah, I'll go higher towards this downside line taken from the high of the 10th of February of this year. So we didn't really go all the way there, but I'm still kind of aiming for that area, to be honest, and I'm still aiming for this this downside line. I want to see what's going to happen here, if we can pierce through this. Of course, everybody's looking for that, one level, because I think that that's what we reached yesterday, almost. I mean, just fell shy by a few pips. I mean, or actually not even a pip here. So yeah, I would say, yeah, we reached it. We reached it, and there was a good hold up, and look at this. Now the question, can we break through it? If we can, then my next target is, as I said, this downside line. I do understand it's not far here, but we cannot ignore it, because it has been quite useful lately. So let's see if we can, if we can get a hold up here again. So far so good. So far the idea is working out. I would say the idea has worked already, maybe about 65%, something like that. So let's see if it can, finish off the remaining and test this downside line. If we suddenly start falling, and this is where I will adjust my arrow. Beautiful, there we go. Have the full right to do that, I think, because now we have moved away from this hurdle. So this hurdle here, which I looked at previously as a good area, a good resistance barrier, now can be seen as a good area of support. If we clear and we drop below it, then this could open the door towards some lower levels. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your views, your likes, your comments, guys. I really do. So thank you very much for that, and I thank you very much for your continued support. I really, really appreciate that. If you want to catch me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, have your stop losses in place, and everything will be fine. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.